Hi flower friends, how are you? It's Nadine here. I'm inside my ivy greenhouse and popping in today to answer a question that I get asked a lot from my wedding florists in regards to offering wedding packages as well as or instead of full service wedding offerings. This is part of a series that I'd like to put together, an AMA series, an Ask Me Anything. So if you've got a question in regards to anything floral design, business, please prop them in the comments here. I would love to start a series that I can do on a regular basis to be able to give you some long form content that's really valuable and beneficial to you, kind of like a little mini coaching session on a topic that's really relevant to you right now. So please go ahead and do that in the comments below. Okay, so let's unpack what the difference is between a package offering, wedding packages, as opposed to your full service, and the issues that I see that happen very easily with the lines getting blurred between one and the other, and also this misconception about there not being any profit in low budget weddings. So I'll start with that first. This is probably unpopular opinion, but I think there is still a really lovely, sweet profit margin in smaller budget weddings. So, and there's ways we can do that. So let's talk about why you would want to offer package type offerings, which are usually, as I said, usually a lower priced option. And I would ask you two questions first. What part of the wedding floral industry do you love the most? What lights you up? What do you really enjoy doing and creating, and what type of client do you like working for? And the other is, are you getting an influx of inquiries that are of a budget type nature? It might be the demographic you're in, it might just be the audience that you're attracting, even if you don't want to or not. But maybe there's an opportunity for you to service that type of client in a way that's still really profitable for you. And there's a few things that I wanted to kind of unpack with that. What I see happening is that florists will sort of attempt to go into this package offering, but get trapped into still giving all of this extra service. And that's where this really works and where it really doesn't. So it's got to be a very clear line in between one offering and the other, and so that a client can come to your website, have a look at your portfolio, fall in love with your flowers, but very clearly see which box or which kind of lane they sit in. So the way packages work is, well, this is what I would recommend that you do, is seasonal flowers only, and it's florist choice, and it's a very simple posy style design. There's no artistic creativity going on here too much, other than a beautifully put together posy, but maybe some colorways. So maybe there's a wildflower option, a whites and greens option, maybe there's a pastels, and maybe there's a bright. Whatever you think that is, going to be relevant to your clients in your area. Then you would have set pricings for the bouquets, for the bride, for the bridesmaids, for the buttonholes. Very sort of minimal in regards to the whole overall bridal party package. There could be just some little hairpins, but no big elaborate hairpiece. There could be something little for the flower girls, but nothing, no special wands or, I don't know, specialty type wearables. The table centers, if you were offering those, would be very simple and pick up by the client. No delivery, no setup of arbors, no roof installations. There will be potentially no personal back and forth with your emails. There might be the one confirmation email, a very clear pricing, terms and conditions, the way they price deposit and then full payment, or, a series of automated payments off their credit card. There would be no proposals. There's none of that specialised service. There's no specialised flowers. There's none of that. It is purely a budget package option that can work perfectly for a couple if they just don't have, the spare cash for a $10,000 flower budget, and plenty of people don't. And I just feel like we shouldn't just, penalise these beautiful clients on their wedding day just because they don't have the budget to spend on, $10, $20, $50,000 wedding budget. But they don't need to get all of your personalised time and attention and expertise for that low budget. Okay, so your time and energy needs to be reflective, not just the flowers, style and variety and what you're offering there, but also your own time and energy needs to be worth something. So that's the way packages can work. And I spoke to a florist, very recently, actually last week, and I said to her, how many weddings are you doing these days? Because she's doing a few other projects. And I thought, maybe she's kind of scaled it down a bit. And she said she's doing over 200 a year. Now, at my peak, I was doing 60-ish, 60 to 70. And I was absolutely, snowed under with quoting and the back and forwards. And everything that I offered back then was customised and full service weddings. I said, how are you doing 200 weddings? She said, packages. They've been the best thing for me. And I can do 5 or 6 a weekend and it's not a problem. I've got my staff, not everything has to have her hand on it. So I could just really see how that worked. And then literally the day later, I got another question about it. So it really felt like the right timing energetically to be talking about it. Okay, so that's what you would and would not offer within your packages. Now, the way that you then structure your full service is to be really full service. So we're talking like packages being drive-through and full service being fine dining. And I think that's always a great analogy to come back to with floristry in regard to the food industry, because people understand how the food industry works. And we're not dissimilar in regards to our seasonality and our fresh product. So full service is, a beautiful, very personalised consult, whether that's on Zoom or in person. Is putting together a proposal for them, potentially after you've secured the quote, like given them the quote, after you've secured the deposit, you might put together a really beautiful detailed proposal that gives you and them a really clear visual mood board, if you like, of what they're going to receive. You might also do unlimited emails in between. You might create a group Pinterest board where they can add their ideas and visuals that they love, and you could actually be adding some yourself. You would definitely be hand delivering all the bouquets. The bouquets would be specifically put together with flowers that you've discussed in a style. It's a one-off bouquet, no two are the same. That's how I've done 30 years of weddings. I wouldn't have made any of my bouquets the same. It's completely customised and individually, put together for that couple. Installations, setups and pull downs. Maybe you're there on site to move designs and recycle designs from ceremony into the reception area. Could be a whole 2-day production or more. This is what customised is. It's big budget or bigger budget, and a lot more time and energy and your expertise. So that sort of brings me to minimums and why I don't agree with every florist having a minimum. I think for the florists that want to do full service all the time, absolutely, it sets the tone and it allows the client to see, yes, that florist is for me, or no, they're not. Yes, I have a $20,000 budget, $50,000 budget. I'm looking for that florist that can service that, because there's a lot that goes into being able to deliver a wedding of that size. Whereas if you are looking at the package market or elopements, you can do the most incredible elopement for a few $1,000s, make a great profit on it, don't need any extra staff, do a stunning bouquet, a incredible ceremony statement piece for them to be married under and photographed and, you know, be documented forever. A beautiful grazing board or tablescape, and that's it. You know, I think if you're interested in doing that type of work, then setting a minimum, it just completely blocks out that client. And so have a real think. As I said, I'm coming back to what I said at the beginning. The client you'd really love to be working with. What type of wedding really lights you up? What would you love to do more of? And setting a minimum $10,000 doesn't work for every florist. It's sort of deemed in the industry as like, you know, that's the success thing. It's like, I only do 5 weddings a year and they're 30 grand each, and, you know, la-di-da. I hate that that's the message that's getting put across. Hate's a strong word. I really don't buy into the message that's getting sent to the next generation of florists coming through, that that's the be all and end all. That's where you want to aim for, because that doesn't, you're leaving so many like clients out of the equation, and you're missing out on yourself maybe some really beautiful, meaningful work that is actually really very, you know, quite profitable. Because when you hear florists talking about the whole 10, 20, 30K weddings that they're doing, not one of them talks about the profit. That's the figure we really need to be talking about. Not what's coming in the door, it's what's staying in your pocket. And I know that there would be many out there who are just getting really hung up on the revenue and not on the costs that involve or the way they're managing that to actually make a really decent profit. So I know that got a little bit off topic, but just coming back to that, think about who you want to be designing for. Think about the clients that are around you now, what type of inquiries you're getting, and if you don't want to keep getting the, you know, budget style inquiries, then you need to amp up your portfolio. You need to change your messaging. You need to step in visually into a higher budget realm for those clients to stop resonating with you and feeling like you're their person. Your messaging must be a little bit off. So have a think about that. And if you've got any questions, like just the way to put a package together, or you'd like me to go over your packages that you have now, that's what my next step sessions are for. You know, they're a 90-minute session. We can unpack everything that you've got there now, and I can give you tips and advice and strategies that will be really specific to you and your market and where you want your wedding business to go. Because, yeah, as I said, not everybody wants to do the $30,000 weddings these days, and me included. That's a whole team. That's hiring a truck. That's a lot of work and effort and time and energy, and not always the best clients to work for. So I hope that's unpacked bridal packages as opposed to full service. And if I can say anything, just make sure that you be really clear on your boundaries and very clear on what the client gets in each lane. Because that will allow the packages and the full service to coexist together. You may decide you just want to do one or the other. Either way, hope you have a beautiful day. I hope that cleared up and gave you lots to think about in regards to incorporating packages into your wedding services. And I look forward to receiving your questions so that I can pop on here with another one very soon. All right, everyone, have a great day. Bye.